evening, or welcome to GTA Online, kind of. Well, this is something I'm sure you've been playing this, and if you have, good luck to you because it's been impossible to get in. But all the bugs, well, some of the bugs seem fixed, and we're going to have a look at this. Now, to be honest, this is the part of GTA that I really liked. So just thought I'd kind of introduce with this a little bit. Love the logo, eh? That took me about 20 seconds to do, but I thought it was funny. So here we go. Basically, we've got here Eddie, Nano, and Josh, and the squad is recruiting. You just need to go and look for SquadB as a crew. Our tag is Buzz, B-U-Z-Z. You're welcome to join. It's free, open, and access, etc. Now, I actually didn't know what was going on here, so I thought this was just some dude to kill. So I didn't actually read the bit that said diary either. So I just killed Nano. That's pretty funny, actually. Sorry, dude. I didn't know, and I was trying to nick his car, and I just couldn't figure it out. So, yeah, this part of the game is obviously very new, very filled with bugs, but it is also by far the best. Now, I did know that was Eddie, and I just started shooting because, hey, why not? And as I'm laying the boot in, just letting them know who's boss, who's the governor, Josh runs me over, proving that he's probably the governor. So there we go. Now, this is fun because I think the whole game is just completely invigorated by this. So what you can see here is I've got my my Jason Voorhees mask on, and I'm basically causing trouble and basically, yeah, not good, holding up people and stealing stuff. Now, you can do missions, you can do team deathmatch, you can do team races, you can do crew versus crew. But currently it's a little bit wonky, so it's not the easiest thing to kind of get into. So what I ended up doing was driving around holding up stores. And you have to kind of do this very carefully because sometimes, you know, you can really get in serious bother. Obviously the police follow you, and you get points for really doing kind of, well, I guess, you know, acts. So if you manage to escape the police, then, you know, all power to you. If you manage to do certain things, then, you know, you get even more. You do level up. Effectively, this is an MMO, would you believe? So it's an absolutely terrible getaway there. Just as I was driving away and I got away from the police, well, kind of, I noticed that somebody else was sticking up the same shop. So I kind of thought, well, I'll get him on the way out. But I thought, actually, no, this is even funnier if I shoot him while he's holding someone up. Ultimate warrior, defender of truth. Isn't that brilliant? And then I nick his car, which is the ultimate irony. Anyway, this is just filled with chaos, carnage, craziness, and hopefully you're kind of getting that, you know, on the map. I mean, if you haven't played this yet, let me explain. There are many, many dozens of other people exactly playing the map, same map I am. So if someone drives by right now and they see me, they can actually plug me. They could be my getaway driver. You know, there's many different things they could do. And reality is that it's actually quite a dangerous world now, because also the reality is that a lot of people will just kill you for the fun of it. There's no real kind of progression or that kind of thing from PvP so much. Oh man, that was not good. See, that's why you've got to keep your gun on the store clerk. Anyway, as it stood, it's a tricky thing to do these holdups, because I mean, again, I'm only finding out how this game works, so, you know, please post in the comments if you know, I'm sure you know a huge amount more than me. You do the tutorial really to kind of learn all this stuff, but I found parts of the tutorial just don't work, so I've ended up kind of feeling my way through this. But what we've done here is we've just been holding up convenience stores. This gives you about $1,500 per heist, and that's not bad because you start to then build. You get rep, you get kind of the ability to, you know, get better guns, etc. So everything is level based. So don't just think you can go and get a huge amount of money and go and buy a rocket launcher. It doesn't work that way. You need to level up, and then the more higher levels you get, you can actually access certain weapons, etc. Don't also expect you to get, like, you know, brilliant cars all the time. In this particular online variant, you actually have to own your own car, and it's a very strange concept, but because I've nicked this car, every time I drive past a copper, a police person, the pigs, the filth, whatever, I end up actually getting chased by them because it is marked as a stolen vehicle. So it's not like the offline version where you can basically do what you want. So just bear that in mind, because there's been a few times where I've kind of been trying to get away from the police, and I've ended up kind of causing more trouble than it's worth. Now, as I'm escaping here, there is a player chasing me right now, and he's about to connect with me sharply. And you'll see, there we go, bang. And this is it. This is exactly what seems to be the majority of what people do in the game, is it's just PvP at the moment. So I was going to try and run from this guy, but then I think he managed to shoot one of my tires out. So I kind of thought, well, you know, the best way to deal with some of these people is just to do this. And I could see he wasn't totally a good shot, so I just thought I'd get into cover and then start to plug him when I get the chance. Now, you know, here we go, bang, 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 and goodbye. Brilliant stuff, so much fun. And Josh has been making quite an interesting little mini game for himself, where he kills obviously other players, then manages to wheel spin their face into the dust, and it just sprays blood everywhere. Obviously, as an adult, I can't condone that, but it's bloody funny. So here we go. Fast forward another bit. Again, I'm robbing quite a lot. I mean, I know I'm kind of going a bit crazy with this, but the way I see it is, it's a good way to level up, and it's also a great way to, you know, get some cash, because pretty much cash is king throughout this whole process. So I would suggest you do the stalls to begin with. It's always better if you do have an accomplice, somebody who can be your getaway driver. That's even better. And then what you need to do is go to, hold down select, and it will bring up the cash. There'll be a choice item in there for cash, and you should be able to split proceeds with your heist buddies. So definitely give it a go. I think, a lot of the time you're finding that, you're only really getting 2 stars for heists, or rather hold-ups. So, you're never really getting the trouble with the helicopter. And in general, it's just so easy to evade the police once you know what you're doing. For example, just driving into the bit where they can't see you, and then, just sitting there, really. And I think, this probably does need to be toughened up slightly. It would be good if other players maybe could, take over the role of the police, for example. So you would actually have the ability to kind of, build a bit of knowledge and logic into this process. But we'll see if that happens. As it stands, it's still a bit buggy. There are certain problems. We actually couldn't get the whole squad into the same match. And when we tried, people just had major problems with compatibility, which seemed a really weird one. But so in the end, we actually kind of gave up, and we did a bit of PvP, as you saw at the start, and then I just went around basically holding up everything I could find. And it was good fun, I must admit. I was quite surprised how different it feels. It feels a lot harder. Money is not abundant, so you're kind of conscious that you don't want to waste ammo so much. And I think really, you're kind of you're intrigued and invited to really try and do some pretty funny capers. We will certainly do a huge amount on this, because I think this has been something we've been waiting for a long time, and it's just a shame it's taken until now for it really to work. And I think we're keen to kind of bring you certainly a kind of regular update on this, but only because I think it's such a great, compelling idea. I would love to get many dozens or even hundreds of people joining the crew and really causing some mayhem, going to war with some of the other crews, and basically showing them who's boss. So if you want to join, you're more than welcome. All you need to do is just go to the crews piece and look for SquadB. There's no requirement entry or anything like that. As soon as you apply to join, you'll be immediately joined, because there's not an invite thing. But yeah, come on, join. And there's comms in game. It's a bit like talking on a sort of old Czechoslovakian mobile phone, but I'm sure it'll get better. I think at the moment they're just trying to kind of make everything speed up a little bit. I just think when you start to get into some of the bigger matches, if you like, or rather kind of bigger kind of scenarios, you get something really quite cool. So earlier we had like a convoy of 3 cars, and we were basically rolling around. And if we came across people, if they were friendly, we kind of left them alone. But I've got to admit, hardly anybody was friendly. So at the moment, it's pretty much turning into a free-for-all PvP frenzy. So there we go. Doesn't end well. Boom, dead. Hope you enjoyed that. We'll certainly bring you a lot more of these.